coming back later, but things don't usually work out for Griff the way he planned, you know? And that's when he'd get in trouble. He was always borrowing money he could never pay back. He might have been trying to skip out on his debts when he left Harris. He would have to leave his little sister behind so it would look like he was coming back.
So he sacrificed you to save his own hide, yes. Kind of like how you came to Taris in the first place.
Yeah, well, no, not exactly. Look,
sorry, I
all I'm
just
trying to
sneezed
say
there.
is that the more I think back, the more I realize I might be idolizing my brother a bit, not seeing all his faults. I still want to find him. I need to see him again. It's just that I'm not sure how I'll react when I do.
I think he deserves a swift kick in the groin for what he did. When the time comes, you'll know what to say, Mission.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't want to judge him yet. Maybe Lena was lying. Or maybe she wasn't. All I know is I'd like to speak to Griff myself. If we have time, I'd like to go talk to the Zerker Corp rep on Tatooine and see what he has to say about where my brother is now.
Well, that sounds like a plan. Have we traveled there yet? I've forgotten if we've... Oh, we should talk to her as well. Let's try this again. So, no, we're on Tatooine. Tatooine. I think I just cancelled instead of actually going there. Travel.
Incoming fighters!
One of the things you can do is, as soon as you realize this thing is going to happen, just fire like crazy, because they all come in from the front initially, and you can really wipe out a good chunk of them. Right in that opening salvo. Ah, good. Fly out of the sun. There he is. It's too low for me to do anything about. There he goes. One more. Where are you? Okay. So I just want to go and chat with Jaheira. She's probably got something else to say. Hello.
Yes.
Oh, Jahani. Jaheira. Who's Jaheira from? I know that name. Is something wrong?
I have been bothered by something of late.
We have creams in the medical facility. What is it?
I never told you where I came from, did I? Where I grew up as a child? I suppose I was trying to deny what I was feeling.
Are you hitting on me? What?
I have been wrestling with my feelings inside, trying to come to terms with it, but I find I cannot. I must have someone to blame. Someone to blame for the destruction of my homeworld. Someone who is responsible for the death of everyone I have ever known, except those on Dantooine.
You mean... What are you saying?
Taris. It was Taris that the Sith destroyed to try to kill you and your precious
Ah,
Bastila.
she's pissed off at me.
Taris, my homeworld.
I'm sorry, Jahani. I did not know. Bastila is critical to defend the Sith. Sometimes you need to make some sacrifices. What's one little world? I thought you hated your home world.
If it were not for you and Bastila, the Sith would have never had reason to destroy that world. It was your fault for being there, and your fault for rescuing Bastila. Without your intervention, the Sith would have had no cause to lay waste to my childhood.
This is true. Aye, but we... Flabberwit?
Just let me vent my anger. I need someone to blame. Something. Anything.
Blame
I
the
hated
Wookiee.
that world. Yet everything I learned as a child, I learned there. It is as much a part of me as the air I breathe. I have this ache inside me, where all my childhood memories lay, and I find your face there with them. If it was not for you, that world would still exist.
Well, I'm sorry. There was no way to prevent it. Calm yourself. Remember the Jedi Code. Yeah, oh boy, that would go across well. I have no excuse. I did what I needed. I'm sorry, Jahani. There was no way to present it.
I suppose I realized that. But it is so hard to lose your entire past. You would not understand.
It will be alright, Juhani. You know, well, no, it won't be. I mean, the planet's not going to come back from nowhere.
Yes. Yes, I suppose it will. As long as we remain focused on our task, it will. I am sorry. I will try not to distract you in the future with my trivial experiences. We should stop for now.
Good. Put a cork in it.
How may I be of
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Are you doing alright?
I thank you for your concern, but I am still a bit shaken.
Why? What's wrong? The whole planet thing still bitching about that?
I have been thinking about myself, about KotOR, and about my fall to the dark side. I keep thinking that it was my anger that drove me that far, that nearly damned me. I look inside myself now and I can still see it. I still feel it.
Perhaps you just need more time? If the taint cannot be removed, are you sure you should be here? You know, I don't really think I care very much. Perhaps you just need more time.
More time would do me good. Time to distance myself from that anger. I think that is why the council agreed to send me with you. They think, perhaps, that in your company, I will be able to free myself from it.
I cannot afford to look after you all the time, Juhani. If I see you begin to slip back, I will intervene.
I thank you for your concern and your acceptance. I will strive to prove that I am worthy of your company and trust.
I think that probably does it for now. We'll ask
How may
one more
I be
time.
of assistance?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like?
Nothing for now, perhaps
Of course.
later. I enjoyed our little talk. Now I've forgotten what we were about to do. I think leave. Have we could probably... I think something, you know, even Candaris is worth talking to if you can get some information out of him. We're going to bring you along. Or actually... I think I'll bring you along. And bring you along. Or do we just bring you along once we find your brother? Let's do that quest first to try and find that brother thing going on.
Welcome to Anchorhead, potential customer. Zerka Corporation stands ready to serve, after some formalities, of course. First, your ship is not on our list of planned arrivals for today. There is a docking fee of 100 credits because of this.
What do I get for my 100 credits?
The immediate benefit is access to these very docking facilities. This is the only port in Anchorhead. Once you've paid, we will offer trade services as well. We're not unreasonable, we just want to cover expenses.
Is there any way you could reconsider the fee? I just want information about the planet. What if I don't have the money? What if I say no, I can't pay it right now? Is there any way you would reconsider the fee?
I assure you that the fee is non-negotiable. We have a very thin margin of profit on this world.
The money I'll save, I'll spend in your stores. Well, this is true, but he's the one to make profit from this.
That does make sense. I suppose I could let it go this time. We need the business. This will cover any future landings as well. It's like a registration, so we can serve you better when you return. Now, as a customs officer, I can provide information on services. Is this visit business or pleasure?
Give me some background. I need good paying work. I'm looking for very specific things. Who should I ask? I'm done with you. Stay out of my business or else. Actually, I really need to get going. Well, let's use some of the less offensive ones. Give me some background on Tatooine.
There isn't much to tell. It's a very old planet. Well, past
What,
its
5,000
prime.
years old?
Zerka
Really?
Corporation is the only company with any interest in it. It's not a very pretty world, but there is opportunity here if you know where to look.
If you don't mind sand getting into every crevice and orifice. Tell me about Zerka Corporation's operations here. or something to that effect.
I can't really get into that. It hasn't been a very smooth operation. I shouldn't get into it.
Oh, come now, friend. Let me in on the details.
It's common knowledge, so there's no harm in telling you. It's a tale of bad business. You see, Zerka Corporation staked their claim to this planet based on some very promising geological surveys. Unfortunately, that information was incorrect, and possibly even an attempt at sabotage by a rival company.
So, Zerka Corporation set up shop on a barren planet? What is known about the history of the planet? Yeah, we'll go with this one.
Not totally barren. There were a few good years of mining, and limited operations are still in place. But the ore is flawed. It has peculiar properties. They've had to look at other forms of business.
What do you mean when you say the ore is peculiar?
Zerka Corporation has really tried to hide this, but it just seems that Tatooine metal is unfit for effective manufacturing. I would imagine that this outpost will eventually be abandoned. Nobody is making any money here. Of course, this rock may have been settled a few times, so look for some other company to get stuck with it.
What other forms of business are being looked at here?
Pursuits that appeal to the casual traveler. There are some fearsome native species that provide exciting hunting. There are also lengthy barren wastes that serve as fine swoop tracks. Attracting business has been slow, however.
What is known about the history of the planet? Do we really care? Oh, sure.
Very little. There are hints that it might once have been a lush world, but I can't picture it as anything but a desert. Native sentient species have no records going back that far. That was hundreds of years ago, maybe thousands.
I was kidding about the 5,000 year
native species
thing.
are not very willing to tell anyone anything. They're barely more than animals.
What species do you mean?
The Sand People. They're vicious and attack outsiders on sight. More animal than anything, really. Maybe they know the history of Tatooine. Maybe they don't. Impossible to tell. They won't cooperate.
Have you had trouble with the Sand People?
Not personally, but they've given Zerka Corporation a rough time. It's hard enough mining this rock without suffering random attacks. I think the company has even put a bounty on them, but I'm sure not going to try for it.
Where can I get information about jobs like that? Any other sentient races?
The Jawas are scavengers, and a bit primitive. Hard to understand. They have an affinity for droids. Some of our scientists believe that they may not be native to the planet. But how they got here, they may not even know. As I said, they're hard to understand. They usually end up slaves to the Sand People. They aren't fighters. Good traders, though.
Where should a person look for opportunity?
It depends on what level of risk you want to take. You could ask at the Zerka office if any bounties need collecting. That's in Central Anchorhead. While you're at the office, ask for a hunting license so you can sell trophies to Faza in his lodge, just north of them. I suppose you could also take up swoop racing. Talk to the hut at the registration office by the track. That's in West Anchorhead. I can't say I know which of these jobs is the most dangerous. I stay away from all of them.
I think that pretty much wraps up this guy. Actually, I really need to get going.
As you wish. If you need anything else, I'll be here.
Okay, and actually, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I have a bit of a sore throat, and unfortunately, I'm out of the miracle coffee. Oh, no coffee today. It's very depressing. Maybe I'll actually, go to the store. Or I wish pizza places delivered coffee. That would be nice. I would like 2 large coffees. No pizza, just 2 large coffees. Okay, so with that, I'm going to say I thank you for watching, and I thank you for listening. I encourage you to leave comments, suggestions, or infantile abuse. I promise I read it all. And if you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel or give me the thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one, and I will be slurping coffee. Cheers, guys.